Picked my arm up, brought this around back here, and then slammed me straight into the ground to take control of me and placed me in handcuffs.
Were you fighting with them?
No. Especially at that level, they were already being aggressive. I wasn't gonna inflame the rage.
Recently, Jody Barr has become my favorite journalist that works for a mainstream media news station. His work is outstanding. True journalism at its purest form. San Joaquin Valley Transparency is totally impressed. Jody Barr, don't ever stop your work. I am learning from you. Many of us are going to learn from you. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for how you do it. There's no holds barred in your work. I love it. It's tremendous. It's very educational, and I can only aspire to be just like you, bro. Everybody check this out.
One man says instead of getting medical treatment, he was assaulted by Williamson County Sheriff's deputies.
And though there's video showing what happened, the sheriff's office won't make it public. It's one of 5 excessive force complaints against the sheriff's office, now under investigation by the Texas Rangers. KXA investigator Jody Barr is the first to uncover details of this case.
That was assault.
It was. They didn't need to knock him down. He's the injured party. We're waiting on an ambulance.
Picked my arm up, brought this around back here, and then slammed me straight into the ground to take control of me and placed me in handcuffs.
Were you fighting with them?
No. Especially at that level, they were already being aggressive. I wasn't gonna inflame the rage.
Rage is how Spencer Murphy describes what arrived at his house in April 2019 after he'd reached out for help. He says he'd been using a power tool, a grinder, when the grinding disc broke and sliced his forehead open.
I ended up calling 911 for an ambulance because it was a head wound. I didn't know how bad it was.
911 logs show a dispatcher classified the situation as a stabbing or gunshot wound. When 2 deputies arrived at Murphy's home, he says he walked toward Deputy Lorenzo Hernandez, explaining his injury.
He demanded I sit again, and I was like, no thank you, I'm good where I'm at. My hands never went below my waist. My demeanor never changed. My attitude never changed. I was never aggressive, never passive aggressive. And next thing I know, I was being slammed onto the ground forcefully and put in handcuffs.
For what?
For not sitting down.
Waiting for an ambulance, and they took him down to the ground, 2 people.
The only video made public that night is from Murphy's girlfriend's cell phone, but she only caught the aftermath.
Now he's in handcuffs instead of getting the ambulance and help that he needs.
Murphy later filed an open records request for video from the deputy's dash and body camera. The sheriff's office denied that request, claiming the department has no way to edit the video to redact personal information. The information that they're claiming they would need to edit belongs to you.
As far as I know, and my girlfriend, the only thing I could think of was my neighbor's license plate was in it.
Murphy says after the deputies left, he messaged Sheriff Robert Jody on Facebook, saying they assaulted him for calling EMS. 5 days later, Murphy filed a formal complaint against Deputy Hernandez.
My complaint was that I called 911 for EMS for help. 2 deputies arrived and demanded for me to sit after waiting a while. They then decided to slam me, the injured party, to the ground.
2 days later, the sheriff's office closed its internal affairs investigation, finding that miscommunications caused dispatch to incorrectly classify the call, which should have been classified as a medical call. Hernandez and his partner only responded in the manner they did because of the misclassification. Do you agree with the findings?
Nope. Not at all.
Do you think there's something in this video that doesn't line up with the statements these deputies wrote?
I'm 100% sure. Clearly.
Sheriff Robert Jody would not comment, and Deputy Lorenzo Hernandez did not respond to us. That same deputy is involved in 3 of the 5 excessive force complaints under investigation by the Texas Rangers. From the Williamson County Sheriff's Office, Jody Barr, KXAN Investigates.
Deputy Lorenzo Hernandez was a field training officer for the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Last month, we showed you video from another excessive force complaint against him when he responded to a domestic violence call.
At the beginning of the video, I said that he worked for a mainstream media news station. I'm guessing it's a local station. I don't know exactly what that's considered nowadays. Social media seems to be the only thing that I watch these days. I don't really watch television or not even local news. It's very depressing. And what depresses me the most is that they blindly support police at all costs, at every angle. So that's just I'm disgusted with it. It makes me want to vomit. But Jody Barr, watching his work, obviously it's bad news as well, but it's good news when you're highlighting bad people. So police officers get away with a lot because of the policies. It's what the left or the right doesn't seem to really touch bases on. This whole politics and the fighting in the streets can be easily resolved if we start to pay attention to the policies, such as internal investigations, police unions, and qualified immunity. Those are 3 things that we can easily look at right now, change some things a bit, tweak some things, and see what happens. Maybe the country will start to fix itself. With that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you go subscribe to Jody Barr and let him know San Joaquin sent you. I want to see this guy's channel grow. Thank you guys. I'll see you over there.